Hello and welcome to Bitsbox World, Builds Made Easy. Hi there, I'm Tom and welcome to the channel. Today I really wanted to have a go at making some more scenery, recycling some rubbish that I've got lying around, and today it's going to be these egg box cartons, and they're cardboard, so nice and easy to process. And if you're anything like me, do you ever look at something and think, that could be something really cool in my miniature wargaming battlefield, some scenery piece of some variety? And these to me have really nice textures on them. I really like the sort of stony bobbly effect, and some of the other pieces to me looked like things like walls. So this here, I really like the number on there, number 13. The egg boxes do come with differing numbers, so you could really get some decent walls out of them with this kind of number stamp on it, and I felt that that would fit really well. And then I'm going to cut out the spikes as well from this, because when I was looking at those spikes I thought they looked a little bit like an anti-tank obstacle. Do you see it? Do you think? I love World War II things, like learning about World War II, and I was recently watching a series and saw these, I think they're called dragon's teeth, these big concrete blocks that troops hid behind, but they were there, designed to hinder and stop tanks, and I thought these look just like that, but they are massive in comparison to a normal standard sized troop. So these are just some Eldari models there. So I'm going to cut them in half, because that will make them a more general size, I guess, against these Eldari troop, and they can hide behind them, but hopefully they're still big enough to stop like a Space Marine tank of some variety, or hinder the enemy at the very least. You do end up then doubling up on your dragon's teeth, and you get two different varieties if you cut them in half. You get the thinner, smaller ones, which I think could be good for getting rid of personnel carriers or things like that, troop carriers. And then the bigger ones there, the more robust ones for stopping tanks. And you get 10 of them from each egg box carton. So I was going to eat the eggs anyway, and I was going to throw away the rubbish. Love a bit of recycling. Do you see it though? Am I going mad, or do these look like they've got potential? Just cleaning up these bigger ones, because I'm going to give them a lid, so that would just be cutting out a bit of the cardboard that's left on the egg carton and giving them a lid. And then I also didn't like that they curved at the bottom. That could be hidden under things like sand or any of your basing materials, but I'm going to cut them nice and straight so they end up being quite flat, and then they sit nicely. If you're going to put them on a base, they sit nicely, but they could also just stand as scatter scenery as well. So making sure everything's all processed up and nice and clean. And then this piece that I showed you earlier with the number on it, it's got this intriguing bit as well that stands out. So that's obviously the clip on the egg box, but I thought this could look like a really cool wall, and I could use it as one long length of wall, or I could incorporate it into my dragon's teeth, and that's what I'm going to do. So moving slightly away from the World War II inspired themes, I'm going to give it my own twist and incorporate this bit that I cut off earlier. So this bit of wool, I really like the number on it. As I said, it's got a good stamp, and combining it with these dragon teeth, I think it could make a good barrier or a good wall effect. And just putting them together, giving them that bit of detail with the number in there, could look really cool, and making sure that they fit nicely in with my sort of spacey theme and barrier, and that I think looks quite good. So as an idea, as a working idea, I think that's going to work out well. Also, I need to make these tops. So using a bit of the waste product that's left over that I haven't been using from the carton, I can actually make the tops of these dragon's teeth. So a rough measure there, and I will clean them up when I come to putting it all together. Whilst I'm doing that, why don't you let me know in the comments below, have you been building anything of late? Give me some inspiration, and if it's your first time here and you're enjoying the video, why not like and subscribe to the channel? Every subscriber is so valued, and I love the fact that I've got this awesome community building up, inspiring each other, and really, getting passionate about this hobby. Right, back to it. So I've got some foam board here that I'm going to be using as a base. You could use cardboard or even the bits of the lid of the egg box if you want to go full egg box builds. But I like a bit of a sturdy base, so this foam board's going to do just fine. Just need to make it into some nice manageable base sizes and then start building things up. That is going to work really, really well, I think. If I remember how to put together my my outline. With the foam board, if you are using this, I like to just taper off the side so it's got a bit of a slope up. It just helps the models to stand on and grip to this base. And I also round the edges off, not massively necessary, but I think it looks better personally. And there we are, some dragon teeth on their board, ready to be glued down. And you could use PVA glue for this, nice and cheap, but I've got a glue gun that I don't use enough with my builds. I really like it. It is quite sticky and hot, but I don't use it enough, so I thought for speed I'm going to glue this down, because I didn't want to wait days for the PVA glue to dry. I mean, obviously it doesn't take days, but the glue gun makes it instantly ready for you to start moving on to the next step. So using that, I've glued down all of the pieces and did the rest as well. But you can see these bits here, I think they're spaced nicely, looking good, and ready for some basing. Oh, and I also glue gunned the roof onto these ones here as well. When doing that though, just be careful. The glue is super hot. I learnt that the burning way, or the hard way. With the lids as well, I did make them slightly too big, so I'll have to cut them down just so they fit nicely and fit in with that sort of indentation on the models. So just using my knife there to clean them up and make sure everything is nice and smooth. And yes, those that like to comment and say mind your fingers, I will be very careful when using my knife. You should too. And if you haven't, why don't you comment in the comments below? Let me know what you're thinking about this so far. I hope it's been inspiring, and I hope you enjoy your builds that you're doing as well. That's looking really, really good. Really nice and ready. But I also want to put a bit of battle damage on these, so they look like they've been in the thick of the fight. And I've got this sculpting tool here that I use with things like green stuff, and I'm just going to use it to drill in to these to make sort of bullet holes and other bits and bobs like that. Now, because it's cardboard, I am pressing nice and lightly because I don't want to go so deep that I make a hole all the way through, but you can sort of take off the top layer and make it look a little bit like a bullet hole, and then you end up with something that looks a little bit more war torn and like it's been in a battle. And I really do hope that this transfers into when I paint this up, that detail does stay there. You can also see that what I've done as well is I've used a black pen just to colour in that detail as well, so you can see it, and I can also see it when I come to paint it. That black also hopefully will hold deep into the recess to make it a bit more prevalent. Is that a word? So a bit more so you can see that damage on the piece there. So using a bit of PVA glue though, I'm going to base this up with just some mixed sands, 2 different types of sand mixed together. I get my sand in bulk just from like a trade centre, but I get 2 different types of sand so I can mix it up, so it's not just thin sand. I like a bit more texture, and there they are, looking all right. Time for a bit of paint, I think. I went for a nice quick easy solution on this, spray painted them black, and that texture does look quite good. I'm also going to put some extra stones on there, and craft glue or super glue would do the job with putting these rocks and pieces on nice and quickly. Using the super glue just because I want these to glue nice and quickly. And these are just yeah, tiny stones that I kind of just brushed up off the road, to be honest. They work really well. But let's get on to the painting. I'm going to use some Citadel paints from Warhammer, but you could use any kind of crafty type paint. Acrylic paints work the best, but these are just some that I've got lying around. And going up through the colours, I am mixing blacks and greys and also that Corax white, just to give some highlighting effect going up through the colours. And I think these are starting to look quite good. Certainly the texture is coming through, just giving it a bit of a dry brush to kind of get that texture, that highlighting effect of the different levels within this. And then there's the number on the wall there. I think it stands out really well. I could put some black paint in there to make it a bit more clear. Also with the ground as well, with the dirt, I'm going to be using some Fumbia brown. And then I've also got this Steel Legion drab, and then Corax white as well, and using those, going up through the colours, going up through the highlighting, just to give the ground an earthy effect. I really like Fumbia brown. I use it a hell of a lot for a lot of things, basing pretty much all of my models with that. And then the drab over the top just gives it that sort of sandy, brighter texture. And then just putting a bit of Corax white over the top just brings out any of that extra top highlighting. And this could be done here if you're doing a sort of dirt effect or a barren wasteland. This could be done, and these look quite good in my view. Let me know in the comments below. Just remember, these were an egg box, and now they're looking like some decent tank traps, and it cost basically nothing other than the eggs. I'm also going to add some grass as well, some static grass that I've got, and I'm going to make it a bit patchy because I think this is a sort of boggy type area, so there's been a few battles and things like that. So I'm going to use 2 different types of grass. I've got some longer grass, which I'm going to use my technique of pinch and pull. If you've not seen me talk about pinch and pull before, go and check out my video about making tufts of grass with your longer bits. And then going to use the shorter grass just to make a sort of meadowy effect. This is meadow green, I think, but I like it because it's got a mixture of different greens in it, And with those longer tufts that stick out, it does look really quite good in my view. I've got a tray, so make sure you collect all of your static grass, and if it doesn't quite go on in the first instance, like I can see some patching of white from the PVA glue, I just go over it again, and that's why I've got the tray. So there we go, a Tom tip. But that's looking pretty decent, and just going to do that with the rest, and then I'm ready to showcase the final stuff, final builds. Obviously with static grass as well, some people use these adapter things that make it stand up on end. I'm not so bothered about that, and I think they look really decent anyway on the battlefields. So as I had a whole load of egg cartons, I've made tons of these, and I think they really look nice on a battlefield. Just going to add some models and see how they stack up. So this is my Imperial Guard, getting some nice cover in these barriers and ready to fight off the enemies of the Imperium. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again soon, hopefully. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.